Hi guys, thank you for joining me on another episode of BeSheek DIY. Today we will be making a beautiful frosted purple sea glass bracelet. So let's go ahead and get right down to it. First thing we're going to need is our string. And if you've watched any previous episodes, you'll know that I like using this black nylon coated string. It helps prevent rusting and it just weatherproofs your bracelet a little bit better, and it's a better quality as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and string on our bracelet. So that's going to require a 1-1 pattern, which is one bead, another bead, and then there's just a repeating pattern of, in this case, it'll be silver ball, frosted purple bead, silver ball, frosted purple bead. I like to call these mermaid beads, and so on. So let's go ahead and get onto it. So you see right here, it's just a 1-1 pattern. And now let's go ahead and speed this up. All right, we're reaching the end here. This is going to be the last bead that gets strung on. And you can see we have the base of our bracelet. This bracelet's going to be a little bit different than some of the other ones you've seen me make. This is going to have a charm that hangs on to the end of the clasp. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But let's go ahead and get this closed up. All right, I got my crimp beads. So now let's go ahead and close this end. Go ahead and string on the crimp bead. Let's get our clasp. And I've already checked the clasp that it's functional, but we'll go ahead and do it here too on camera. We'll string on our clasp, fold over our string, restring our crimp back on both the main string and the tail, scoot that crimp bead up just a little bit. Then we're gonna go ahead and get our flat nose pliers and crimp down. There we go. All right, now we're gonna get our beads that we have strung on over here, and we are going to hide that tail with the other beads, just like that. See? All right, now let's go ahead and close the other side. And for the other side, we are going to repeat the same process. We're going to get a crimp bead. Okay, crimp bead goes on that string like that. And in this case, we actually are going to be using a, and I forgot to get it, so we'll go ahead and get one now. We're going to be using a split ring. And we're going to put our split ring, oops. We're going to put our split ring on just like that. Okay. Fold over our string like we did with the clasp, restring a few beads on, so it's the crimp, the ball, and a purple bead. Okay, I'm gonna scoot that up, but now we have this gap over here, and if you've seen on any of the previous episodes, we need to close this gap, and this is how we're going to do it. We're gonna get our round nose pliers, go ahead and crimp down on that loop. I only inserted one part of the round nose plier and crimp down. And I'm gonna go ahead and let go of the main string, grab this tail, and then I'm just gonna pull. I released a little bit over here on my round nose plier and I pulled, and that way it closes up the gap, okay? Then we're gonna go ahead, get our flat nose again, and just crimp down. There you go. And the only thing we have now to do is to cut off this tail like so. And now the base of the bracelet is done. Look how pretty that is. Do you see that shine? I love mermaid beads. They're just so pretty. Okay, so now that we have the base of the bracelet done, we need to work on the charm that goes on the end. And so we're going to use our resin sea glass, and yes, you heard that right, resin sea glass. I've used real sea glass prior, and it just, you know, if it's hanging from your wrist, it's going to kind of bang up against other things and break. So we switched to resin, so it's shatterproof. And now I've already got my resin sea glass, and I've got a silver bail here. I'm gonna get my freshwater pearl. The interesting thing about freshwater pearls is that they're all different shapes and sizes, and that's how you can tell they're a real pearl, is if they're not all the same size. So this here is about 4x6 oval rice pearl. We're gonna go ahead and take our ball pin and insert the ball pin through the pearl. We're gonna bend over that ball pin like so. Then we're gonna get our round nose pliers here, and we are going to just twirl. You see how I did that? I just went ahead and twirled the end of that ball pin to a circular motion and closed it off like that. All right, now with that done, we need to go ahead and get the pearl onto the resin sea glass charm. And the way we're gonna do that is grabbing our flat nose pliers here, and there's gonna be a gap. See if I can bring that in the camera. You see there's a gap over here. So we are going to go ahead and put the, oops, and I just lost my jump ring. We are going to get our jump ring, okay, and we are going to thread it through that gap right over here. So just gonna do it just like that. You see that? It's threaded on. And then the next thing we're gonna do is get our pearl here and put that on the jump ring as well. Just like so. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get our other pliers and close up this jump ring like that. Okay? Jump ring is now closed and secured. And our pearl is fashionably dangling on our charm. You see? Okay. Now we need to go ahead and get these other jump rings fastened onto the end of our bracelet. So let's go ahead and watch me do that. And now we're going to go ahead and put that onto the end of the bracelet. So you guys can see what this looks like when it's done. You're going to have your charm here, some jump rings put on together here, and your clasp over here. And so what that looks like when it's beaded or when it's clasped, it'll look something like this. Go ahead and move this off so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And there you go. And now, you know, you might be wondering, why did I leave such a big gap between the charm and the end of the bracelet? Well, it's so it can be adjustable. Everyone's wrist size is a little bit different. Some have smaller wrists, some have bigger wrists. I tend to have a bigger wrist, so most bracelets don't, standard size bracelets don't fit me. But with this little extension over here, it will. So if you're a smaller wrist girl, you can go with this and you'll just have more of a charm hanging down. And if you're a bigger wrist girl, you can go ahead and go all the way over here to the end and it'll still fit you. You get an extra inch of play. Super cute, right? So with that said, guys, thank you for joining me again on another episode of BeSheek DIY. I hope you had fun making this with me. Guys, please, we're building up our community over here. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'd like to hear your comments about the video. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if there's some suggestions you would like to offer to me, I'm open to hearing anything, any suggestions. And if you'd like to purchase this bracelet already made, you can visit our products on Amazon. I'll put the link below. Or if you'd like to go ahead and build this bracelet, we do sell the kits on our website, and I'll put the link below as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. And please remember, be chic, be happy, and be inspired. Thanks, guys. Love you.